The topic of this video is Emerging Technologies Serving Humanity, Transforming Humanitarian Operations and Leadership Through Artificial Intelligence, AI Agents and Quantum Technologies. Humanitarian organizations operate in challenging environments affected by natural disasters, armed conflicts, forced displacement, disease, food insecurity and limited infrastructure. Artificial intelligence, AI agents, digital twins and quantum technologies can transform humanitarian operations by anticipating crises, coordinating complex responses and delivering faster, smarter and more effective assistance. Together with compassionate human leadership, these technologies can undertake important operational leadership roles, guiding decisions, mobilizing resources and coordinating action to reduce suffering, protect human dignity and achieve the best possible humanitarian outcomes. The need for technology-enabled humanitarian leadership. Humanitarian leadership involves assessing uncertain situations, establishing priorities, coordinating organizations, managing logistics, protecting vulnerable people and communicating with affected communities. Conventional systems often depend on fragmented databases, spreadsheets, emails, meetings and manual reporting. Information may arrive too slowly to support urgent decisions. AI can analyze satellite images, weather data, health information, population movements, field reports, social media signals and supply chain records. It can help humanitarian leaders understand current conditions, anticipate future developments and compare alternative actions. Technology should strengthen human judgment while responsibility, empathy, cultural understanding, negotiation and moral accountability remain with human leaders. AI for crisis prediction and early action. AI can detect patterns associated with floods, bushfires, cyclones, droughts, disease outbreaks, population displacement and food insecurity. Machine learning systems can combine rainfall forecasts, river levels, vegetation conditions, market prices, medical reports and satellite observations to produce early warnings. Humanitarian organizations can then mobilize supplies, release emergency funding, inform communities, prepare shelters and organize evacuation support before conditions become critical. This predictive capability can shift humanitarian leadership from reacting after suffering occurs towards preventing or reducing suffering through earlier action. AI agents as humanitarian operational leaders. AI agents represent an important advance beyond conventional analytical software. An AI agent can receive an objective, examine available information, formulate a plan, use authorized digital systems, communicate with people and other agents, monitor results and adjust its actions. In this operational sense, AI agents can perform many leadership-like functions. A humanitarian coordination agent could continuously analyze field reports, identify unmet needs, compare organizational activities and recommend task allocations. A logistics leadership agent could inspect inventories, forecast demand, locate transport resources, calculate delivery routes and redirect shipments when roads become unsafe. A health response agent could monitor disease indicators, identify medicine shortages and recommend the deployment of mobile medical teams. A financial management agent could prepare emergency budgets, monitor expenditure and identify unusual transactions. A community communication agent could translate verified information, distribute safety instructions and classify questions requiring human attention. These agents could operate continuously and coordinate thousands of interconnected tasks. Humanitarian professionals would consequently have more time for community engagement, negotiation, protection, relationship building and compassionate support. A multi-agent humanitarian operations system. A supervised multi-agent system could provide an integrated model for managing humanitarian operations. Specialized AI agents could oversee needs assessment, procurement, logistics, shelter, food, water, healthcare, finance, security and communications. A central coordination agent could combine their findings and present humanitarian leaders with an integrated operational plan. During a major cyclone, for example, a forecasting agent could identify communities at greatest risk. A mapping agent could analyze satellite and drone images. A needs assessment agent could estimate requirements for food, water, accommodation and healthcare. A logistics agent could select routes, vehicles and distribution centers. A communications agent could deliver multilingual warnings, while a monitoring agent could determine whether assistance reached the intended communities. The agents would exchange information and revise the operational plan as conditions changed. Human leaders would approve critical actions, resolve ethical or political questions, and remain accountable for decisions and outcomes. This model could reduce administrative workloads, improve coordination, and accelerate emergency responses. Digital twins and real-time crisis management. A digital twin is a continuously updated digital representation of a physical environment, infrastructure network, or operational system. Humanitarian organizations could develop digital twins of disaster-affected cities, hospitals, temporary settlements, transportation networks, and flood-prone regions. Information from sensors, satellites, drones, weather services, and field teams could update these models in near real time. AI agents could test alternative actions within a digital twin before recommending their implementation. Leaders could assess what might happen if a bridge collapsed, a hospital lost electricity, a disease spread through a settlement, or an essential supply route became inaccessible. Digital twins could therefore support scenario analysis, operational planning, resource allocation, and emergency preparedness. They could also provide realistic training environments in which future humanitarian leaders practice managing complex crises without exposing communities to real-world risks. Quantum computing and humanitarian applications. Quantum computing remains an emerging technology, but it may eventually assist with humanitarian problems involving highly complex optimization, simulation, and analysis. Potential applications include optimizing routes for large emergency fleets, allocating scarce supplies among numerous locations, modeling climate-related hazards, and designing advanced materials for shelters, energy systems, and water filtration. Hybrid quantum classical systems could use quantum processors for selected calculations, while conventional computers manage communications, databases, and operational workflows. Quantum sensing may contribute to precise environmental monitoring, underground water detection, navigation, and infrastructure assessment. Quantum secure communications may also help protect sensitive humanitarian information. These possibilities require careful research, testing, and validation. Quantum technologies should therefore be regarded as a strategic area for research and future preparedness rather than an immediately complete operational solution. Humanitarian principles, ethics, and accountability. Automation must never make vulnerable people invisible or reduce humanitarian responsibility. Humanitarian databases may contain identities, health conditions, locations, migration histories, and protection information. Improper collection, sharing, or analysis could expose individuals and communities to discrimination, surveillance, exploitation, or physical danger. AI systems may also overlook people with limited internet access or insufficient representation in datasets. Humanitarian AI agents therefore require secure data governance, strict access controls, transparent decision processes, bias testing, independent evaluation, and continuous human supervision. Life-changing decisions, such as denying assistance, identifying people as security threats, or sharing sensitive personal information, should not be made autonomously. Communities must have accessible opportunities to question decisions, correct inaccurate information, decline unnecessary data collection, and request human review. Developing the humanitarian leaders of the future humanitarian leaders will require expertise in crisis management, ethics, negotiation, and community participation, together with practical knowledge of AI, autonomous agents, data governance, cybersecurity, digital twins, and advanced communications. Leadership education and professional training should incorporate AI agent simulations, digital twin crisis exercises, responsible automation, technology assessment, and awareness of future quantum applications. Humanitarian leaders do not all need to become programmers. However, they must be capable of deciding what technology should do, where it should not be used, how its performance should be evaluated, and who remains accountable for its consequences. A new human-AI leadership partnership. AI agents can become powerful operational partners that continuously observe conditions, coordinate complex workflows, and help organizations act earlier. They can perform planning, resource allocation, monitoring, communication, and adaptive coordination functions. However, legitimate humanitarian leadership also requires empathy, responsibility, cultural understanding, community trust, and moral courage. The strongest future model is therefore a human-AI leadership partnership. AI agents can manage information, complexity and routine coordination, while human leaders protect dignity, exercise ethical judgment and remain accountable. Quantum technologies may eventually add advanced optimization, sensing and cybersecurity capabilities. Used responsibly, these technologies can help humanitarian organizations reach more people, use limited resources effectively, strengthen locally led action and save lives. The central principle must remain clear: technology must always serve humanity, and responsible humanitarian leadership must always guide technology. Conclusion: artificial intelligence, AI, AI agents, digital twins and quantum technologies can strengthen humanitarian responses to disasters, conflicts, displacement, disease and food insecurity, and can play very important leadership roles, resulting in the best possible humanitarian support and outcomes. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Stay tuned for more insights on AI, quantum computing, and emerging technologies shaping the future of software and humanity.